This is sulphur powder. Gardeners have been using this as an effective tick repellent for hundreds of years. What's more, the US Forest Service still recommend it as an effective technique today. So why does nobody talk about it? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. 3 natural methods how you can keep ticks out of your backyard, including one that many people seem to have completely forgot about. Ticks position themselves low down on long grass, on the edges of shrubs and overgrown scrub, right at the height of whatever they're waiting for. They don't chase you, they don't jump. If you look at a tick, they ain't built for jumping. They just wait at the edge of their habitat, and when something brushes past, they grab on like a timeshare salesman. So the goal is simple: make those edges as hostile to ticks as possible. Here's how. So method 1, and yeah, I know, some of you might not like this. You've got to keep your yard tidy. Oh, come on, green thumb. Were you turning into me mum? But all jokes aside, I'm sure your garden is a shining example in the community. But for the few unkempt ones out there, for heaven's sake, cut your grass. Clear up the dead scrub. Burn it if you're allowed, if you have the space. Keep the edges under control, especially where your garden meets the fencing and the walls or any wild land next door. Ticks need damp, sheltered cover to survive in between feeds. A well-kept garden denies them of that opportunity. If you skip this vital step and go straight in for the powders and potions, then you're going to be fighting the symptoms and not the root cause. So once you've got your yard all nice and tidy and well trimmed, the second method is diatomaceous earth. It looks like fine white powder, completely natural, made from fossilized algae, ground down into a dust. But at the microscopic level, the particles are razor sharp. When a tick or any crawling insect moves across it, those particles damage the outer layer of their exoskeleton and they dehydrate. You can sprinkle it along your garden borders, around the base of shrubs, along paths that your dogs regularly use. Anyway, ticks are likely to be crossing from wild ground into your space. One important caveat is that diatomaceous earth needs to stay dry. So if it does rain, it will diminish its effectiveness and you'll have to reapply. You can focus your dustings on sheltered spaces so that the diatomaceous earth stays undisturbed. Food-grade diatomaceous earth is what you're looking for. Once it's settled, it's safe for you and your family and your pets. I'll pop some links in the description if you're looking to buy some. So now it's time for the big guns. Sulphur powder. It's been used in gardens for well over 100 years. And not just as a tick repellent. Sulphur powder is a genuine insecticide. It works against mites, against fungal problems, against a whole wide range of garden pests. But for ticks especially, dusting the lower vegetation around your garden is one of the most effective natural barriers that you can put in place. The US Forest Service recommends it, and once you understand that ticks hate the smell of sulphur, it makes complete sense why it works as such an effective repellent. Now, there's also an old school hack that goes along with this. Take an old sock, put a small amount of sulphur powder inside it, tie it off. Before you head out on a nature walk into the scrub and long grass, anywhere that ticks are likely to be, give your shoes and your bottom of your trousers a little pat down with that sock. Simple, cheap and effective. It's a simple time-tested method that's worked for generations. Be careful not to get sulphur powder on your bare skin because it can be quite an irritant. Now I use a proper sulphur duster for dusting my garden, which makes covering a lot of ground much easier. But if you don't want to spend any money, I made a little video a while back showing how you can build a cheap sulphur duster from an empty plastic bottle and a pair of tights. It works perfectly. Not as good and efficient as a proper duster, but if you're caught short and you don't want to spend a dime, definitely check that video out. I'll make sure a link just pops up now for you. Now, if you are going to be using a duster, just as a safety warning, try and do your dusting on a day when it isn't too windy, and take appropriate safety measures and use a mask and some goggles because it is an irritant. So, a tidy garden, diatomaceous earth sprinkled along pathways and around your house, sulphur powder dusted around your vegetation and footwear before you enter tick territory. All natural, all cheap, and all genuinely effective. Feel free to drop a comment below if you have any methods that work for you. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later.